Kyle, UFC question. So Conor McGregor is officially on standby for what is the biggest fight of 220, perhaps. Ferguson versus Khabib.
Yeah.
Because this fight has fallen apart 4 times out of the 4 times they tried to schedule it already.
At least 350.
So I'm asking you your preference. Do you want the fight to go through as scheduled? And if not, which one do you want to miss the fight? So Conor jumps in.
Ooh. Man, that's a tough question. So, all right. So, my least favorite option is Conor versus Khabib again right away.
Agreed.
My favorite option, honestly, is the fight to go through. But in the middle is definitely a Conor versus Tony, which would be fascinating.
Agreed on all counts. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I look, I love Conor. I'm Conor's biggest fan. But I do want to see Tony versus Khabib. They've been dancing around this for literally like 3 or 4 years or something like that. 4 failed engagements so far over a myriad of problems, freak accidents really, and sort of unheard of things happening. Everything from kidney failure to cables
injury,
ripping a guy's tendons off the bone, ligaments off the bone. So I really want to see that fight happen. However, I mean, Conor stepping in either place would be a better seller, frankly. Like it really would. Like nobody would say, "Hey, I paid for Khabib versus Tony, and I'm getting Conor versus Khabib." Well, shit, I'd have paid more for that. All right, let's go. But I do prefer Khabib versus Tony as my number one, because of all the reasons I just mentioned. However, Conor versus Tony would be fascinating because what if Conor wins? What's the next fight?
I guess Khabib.
Imagine.
Even I'll agree that he earned his title shot if he beats Ferguson.
Imagine what happens to Tony's psyche.
Oh, that's where you're going. Yeah. Well, it's the USADA testers in the walls.
If you want some real entertainment, folks, forget Conor rematching with Khabib. The real entertainment is how Tony reacts if he, let's just say he like gets a cut in practice. All right, that's you recover from that in 6 weeks, 100%. He gets cut. He can't fight Khabib. Or excuse me.
Yeah, you said it right.
I actually didn't. Let's say Khabib gets a cut. He can't fight Tony. Conor fights Tony and fucking starches him a la Jose Aldo. Like he comes in there, in and out, boom! And he drops Tony Ferguson away. We've never even seen happen to Tony Ferguson. And Conor looks like fucking Conor of 5 years ago. And he's talking so much shit in the ring. And he's screaming about like the Muslim Brotherhood and terrorism and fucking, he takes that fucking Sherpa hat or whatever the hell Khabib wears and he fucking spits on it and stomps on it. And all of his boys come out dressed like leprechauns and do like this crazy like river dance on top of like a Russian flag, right? And he just says, "I'll be here. You say any place, anytime, I'll be right here waiting." And you're just like, well, Tony's fucked. Dude, Tony is not getting his Khabib fight anymore. Tony is relegated to fighting the I don't know, the Michael Johnsons of the world once again. I don't know who he'd fight next, but something would happen inside Tony's head that we're not prepared for. Tony would turn into an actual supervillain. He would become the Night Stalker or some shit. Like he would become a supervillain. It would break him. That's what I want to happen, frankly. That's the most ideal scenario. No, the most ideal scenario is Khabib versus Tony because I want to see that play out. I feel like Tony deserves that shot so much. He never lost his fucking title. He was the fucking champ. They just took it away because he got a bullshit knee injury working for them, and I didn't like that, and I still don't like it. And I'm fascinated by Tony, and I dislike Khabib to some degree, and I want to see them fight.
It's weird. So Tony won a belt and Khabib won a belt, but neither of them beat the champ to get it.
Correct.
And neither of them beat, I thought, like a good enough. So Tony, if you don't remember, beat Kevin Lee to get his belt. And Khabib beat Al Iaquinta.
That's right.
And Quinta was ranked 11th. I don't know what Kevin Lee was ranked at the time, but since then that win didn't age that well because Kevin went on to lose like his next one and his next one and his next one.
He has staph infection perpetually.
Yeah. So a win that looked okay as a championship win. Didn't beat the champ, but you did beat someone good. Didn't age well. And Khabib has since gone on to beat Conor and anyone else. Who am I missing? Oh, Dustin Poirier. Yeah. So now his belt, like in my eyes, is like fully legitimized. He's beaten a lot of tough guys. He's cool. Ferguson, it's like, how was that belt he had? He never lost it to a person, but he never earned it
it's
either.
The win streak.
Yeah.
It's the opponents that he's dominated, the way he did Cowboy. And look, people keep saying Cowboy is washed up or whatever. I think if you look at his opponents that he's lost to this last, whatever he's lost, like, I don't know, 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 7 or whatever, man, he's been hoeing a rough, what do they say? A rough
road to hoe?
A rough road to hoe. Yeah, because he's been hoeing a rough row there, you know?
Tough, yeah.
Cowboy's a real fighter, and he still is. He's not over the hill. He's just been fighting the best of the best, and he's like a top 5 guy, not a top 2 guy. He's just been fighting some fucking top 5 guys, I feel like, when he's taking a lot of these losses. And again, there's been a new Cowboy for the last year or so. He came out really strongly, and he's looked different. He's looked better.
I'm not with you at the end there, but so the last 2 he lost to was Justin Gaethje, who's legit tough guy.
Super legit.
Before that, Tony Ferguson, as legit as it gets, but they're both losses. And he lost to him in the second round for Tony, first round for Justin. And before that, he had a win streak against Quinta, Alexander Hernandez, and Mike Perry.
The Quinta win was big, I thought, because we just had seen Ali Quinta go the distance essentially with the champ, you know, like show so much heart, and Cowboy destroyed him. He outclassed him at every turn in that fight. He bloodied him, he beat him down. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, so Cowboy lost his last 2, but they were tough guys. He won the 3 before that. They were just below the top level. Yeah. And then before that, he lost 4 out of his last 5.
Yeah, I mean, he fights so much.
Yeah, it's true.
He fights so much. But I think Cowboy's a pretty legit fighter. You know,
they're winning me over. So they do this. For people who aren't fight fans, hang in there with me. They play mind games and they gaslight you. So you've got one guy who's like the legend, right? This guy's clearly going to win. Everyone agrees this guy's going to win. They were upset that he decided to fight Cowboy because Cowboy wasn't on Conor's level, right? As for all the troubles Conor's had lately, they're like, what? You picked this, what is he, 37? 30, he will be 37 when they fight. He's 36 now. You picked this going to be 37-year-old guy who's lost his last 2 fights. Like, you couldn't have chosen an easier win without going like really illegitimate, right? That was the initial thing. Now I hear them talk about all the ways that Cowboy can win. How Cowboy has a ground game. Cowboy has a striking game. Cowboy has a kicking game. Conor only has a left hook. Conor is really the underdog in this thing. And they've got me like, oh, I guess so. I was wrong all this time. Conor McGregor's is the actual unskilled opponent in this match, not the guy who's been losing and is 37 years old. And I don't know anymore. And they do it to you, and it sometimes it works.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Man, it's gonna be a great year for
Conor. Only has a left hook. All Pavarotti could do was sing. What an untalented dick, you know? Like,
yeah. And Conor's got kicks. Conor was destroying Nate Diaz with those kicks for the first 2 rounds of that rematch. Like it was shocking to me that Nate didn't just continue. I still to this day, like, go rewatch that fight. And the first 2 rounds, Conor is leg kicking Nate in a way that, like, the best leg kick. He clearly, that was his training camp. They were like, look, we're gonna cripple this guy. He's not going to be inside dirty boxing you like he was last time. He's not going to rough you up. He's not going to want to be close to you because we're going to cripple him. And that's what they did. And it worked. He was crippled at the end of round 2.
You're right.
Then he comes out, and it's like they shot him up with morphine in the corner. And he does. I swear to God, like I don't think Nate cheats. I don't think Nate's on steroids.
Nobody does.
But I feel like somebody shot him up with something in that fucking corner after round 2. I'd put $10 on it for sure, because he came out and it was like, wait a minute. He limped to that stool, 60 seconds elapsed, and now he's froggy. Now he's fucking bouncing and he's coming inside. It didn't make any sense to me. It was like a movie or something when like the character's just like, I'm real mad now, so pain doesn't work.
His conditioning is legendary. Both the Diaz brothers, really.
Yeah, but the pain, he was
right.
Like he was like.
It seems related though, right? People who are in really like next level shape seem to come back after that kind of abuse. Like that's
I don't know. I'd never seen it before. Like what I always see with those leg kicks in particular is like, oh no. Like especially if it's my guy and he's getting leg kicked, every one of them, I'm just like, oh buddy, that took your HP bar just went down.
And Rogan, if you hear him call the fight, he's always giving a ton of respect to those leg kicks. Very few fights are won by leg kicks. And if it wasn't for Rogan telling you, I've been kicked in the leg. I don't know why I'm saying this. Like it hurts, and it everything he says is true. But somehow in a fight, like people think pain doesn't work in a fight. Like some fighters think that injuries go away. Like
it's one of those things that's way more painful than it looks.
Yeah,
you know how there's some stuff that's way less painful than
you
it
can
looks.
see sometimes the welts and
right.
It looks
the redness.
It's beyond welts.
But some of these guys just mind over matter leg kicks. And it appears that Nate's one of those guys. And it's neat to see. That's why I like fighting. That's why these guys have it like talent and cardio and preparation, all that, but their spirit is the neatest thing to see. It's like a fighter's spirit that exists on a level that like you go all week, you won't meet another guy who has that kind of resistance and won't say no, won't quit kind of attitude. And those are the fights that I like the most. The Colby Covington Usman fight happened just recently. There was that. I'm a bigger Colby fan than I was before that fight. Even though he lost, that spirit, oh my gosh. If he could have, he would have gone back out and tried again right on the spot.
Yeah, he's got a lot of heart. I was just watching him. Edson Barboza, I know, has won at least once to leg kicks. Like the guy was just
Pat Barry used to win a lot to leg kicks too.
Fucking done, buddy. Fucking done. Stop it.
Yeah.
I got leg kicked once. Never again.
Not a fan.
Never again.
Not a fan.
It seems shitty. I've never been leg kicked because I don't put myself in this
People compare it to getting hit with a baseball bat, and that's a little hyperbole, but it's like getting hit with a big piece of bamboo. Like
a shin bone
big piece
sized.
of bamboo, and they swung it real hard with one hand, and they hit you right above the knee on the outside of your leg, and it stings really bad. And you're just like, it's one of those pains that like you feel come up your chest and like around the back of your neck into those muscles, the muscles that are like behind your skull, and you're just like, I need a deep breath to even process that pain. I'm not gonna cry. I mean, this isn't crying pain.
I'm too manly to cry.
This is overwhelming. Full body is feeling what happened down there kind of pain. And I didn't get kicked by a fucking professional fighter. I got kicked by some asshole in Athens, Georgia.
I got kicked by, remember Andy he came on the show a couple times, Joe's friend.
Semi-pro fighter. That was a real kick.
Yeah, he fights at 125, right? So I'm a lot heavier than him. And his leg kicks were so fucking effective against me. He could do them at will. It's hard to describe how I couldn't see them coming. He would just teleport his his foot onto my leg, and suddenly it's hit. And I've got plenty of other things to worry about. He's better me with the hands, the feet, and the grappling. So all of these things are of concern. And anyway, he got the best of me every second of the spar. But afterwards, the other people at the gym were like, "Yeah, that was just impolite of him to bully you like that."
I was about to say, and look, and I think this further bolsters what I said about that waitress earlier. I call him like I see him. And when I saw Andy kicking Woody, I thought, you're a pussy, Andy. You're afraid of a guy like Woody who's had a couple years of boxing when he was younger, and now he's just in here having a good time with his friends, and you're having to keep him at bay with these leg kicks that he has no experience with, because you're actually afraid that Woody might actually embarrass you if you trade hands with Woody. And that's what I think.
That wasn't going to happen, I'm sure.
Look. It might not have happened. I agree. Probably not the most likely outcome. But I feel like he had a little bit of fear in him because he knew who you were. He knew it was being recorded. And he knew that if you caught him with whatever boxing skill you have, which is not rudimentary, it's somewhere between rudimentary and some sort of moderate level. You're a 4 out of 10 boxer. You know, if 10 is Mike Tyson, is 1 is like someone who's never had a bit of training, you're a 4 out of 10 boxer. He knew that if you caught him, semi-pro Andy, buddy of professional mixed martial artist, and you put it on the internet for 1 million people to see, it would be humiliating. And he was afraid of that.
I think this is realistic.
He wouldn't be afraid to fight you, but he was terrified of being embarrassed by you.
You're putting it so kindly in my way.
You wouldn't
no,
have
I'm
to,
putting it 100%
you wouldn't have to, you know, and Kyle's not saying you would have to win the fight. He's saying, even let's say he went for a leg kick and you not even paying attention to the leg kick, went for a big, you know, right punch, and you actually landed and stunned him and knocked him down. Like, even if he beats your ass the rest of the fight, the clip's going to be YouTuber knocks professional fighter on his ass in front of the whole gym. Like, and that's what he was probably afraid of. I think Kyle's
I'll
right.
go this far. Like, you know how John Jones has gathered some respect by beating the other guy at what that other guy's good at. He out wrestled Chael Sonnen. He outstruck, you know, everybody. Andy didn't do that to me. Andy picked the spot where he had the hugest skill gap and just wrecked me with it. And you know,
Andy played dirty. Andy played dirty.
I don't know about that.
If I were to compete in sports against
look,
either
Andy's a
of you,
nice
I
guy.
would
I'm not
go
saying that Andy's
all
not a
out.
nice guy, and I actually even understand like why he did that, because this is his profession. It's like that scene in 300. What, Spartans? What is your profession? This is Andy's profession. It would be like, I don't know. I don't know what the comparison would be, but like if Andy came in and started beating you up in COD, you'd be like, shit, this is looking bad. Andy, Andy's a fighter. He doesn't. I play this shit 4 hours a day, every fucking day, and he's destroying right now.
Right.
You might go play hardcore or you might go play like your game type of choice,
Right.
but you wouldn't. What Andy did was he picked COD 4, BOG, M16, fucking 1v1, and he made sure that he was going to come out of there with a victory, because he knew that if he lost to Syndicate, aka Woody, then it could be a career ender.
Wow, we went there.
Yeah, if I went to a men's league with you, Woody, and we were both out there, and I'm my goalie stuff here, and you're, you know, and not even men's league, just we're out at a free skate. I am making sure that while it's being recorded, the whole first 40 minutes, you're taking shots from the point. You're getting tired. You're wearing yourself out, and then at the very end, it's like, all right, time for the breakaway competition. Oh, I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling good. Oh, Woody, sorry. You mean me dishing the puck way far away from you to return it hasn't been helpful the whole time?
I felt like I watched that video.
Goofed.
I watched that video and I felt that was dirty the way that he did you. I felt like, honestly, I felt like it was cowardly. The way he did you. And you don't have to co-sign that. I understand. You don't have to co-sign that at all. But my opinion was that this is his profession, and he has someone who is a noob coming in. And it would be like if we were going to have like a friendly 1v1, for example. I'm going back to COD references. You know, we're going to have a 1v1 and you've never played Call of Duty, and I take you to shipment and I run dead silence when you don't even have the perk unlocked. That's what it's like, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sound whoring you hard and wall banging you with, you know, through crates. You borderline cheated, you know, to beat a guy who you had every advantage over, essentially, except for a little bit of size. But he's so skillful that didn't really matter. He was afraid you were going to embarrass him on the internet, and so he punished you with leg kicks.
You know who was more
bullshit.
punishing? Joe's brother. So I was just grappling with Danny. And
I'm not going to say anything about Joe's brother because he'll come get me.
Joe's brother, like, he put a lump on my head with his elbow. We're not striking, by the way, but he elbowed my head so hard.
Joe's brother was justified. He did nothing wrong.
I had like half a baseball coming out of my head, and the
Please
other
don't hurt me like you did those men in the park.
the other professional fighters are like, "Whoo, that's a whopper." And I'm just like, "What? This isn't normal around here."
You're like, so Woody, when's your bout?
Do you see anybody else with one of these? No, because it doesn't happen often.
I was the only one. Yeah, and it was.
You're the only one there who's not a professional fighter.
Yeah,
and he's
and
fucking dropping bows on
Dude,
you.
before I rolled with him too, I was like, all right, like, you see this wrist with the red armband on it? Recently broken, so chill on that. And like, you know, we're friends, right? And he's like, yep, got it. Fucking cry.
He immediately goes to like the 5-finger death punch.
Right.
This This man has no mercy in
Dude,
him. Like
that guy could have done
We've
it.
all seen those videos of him and Joe rolling
Yeah.
in their yard, and that's his brother, the man he probably loves most in the world. And the first thing he does is throws a wicked leg kick and starts throwing fucking hooks.
Oh,
That
dude.
is unbelievably rude and uncouth. You need to invite that guy to a nice little hockey. Oh, you don't know how to skate? Well, I'll keep it no contact for the first 4 seconds. If that helps you.
Because that's how long it takes me to get up to speed.
Yeah. Oh, you don't even know enough about this sport to know that elbows aren't allowed. Well, perfect. He's gonna fucking knock your ass out.
He's from Boston. He's probably better at hockey too.
I learned to fight playing hockey.
From now on, we only swim wrestle. This is my best chance.
They call me Aquaman in the pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against Joe's brother on anything. Joe's brother could have been a fucking pro fighter if he had
He fought in the
his
UFC.
ducks in a row. I mean, yeah,
A
but
couple
you know
times
what I
in UFC.
mean.
Yeah, he could have had a longer career. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I ever met him. Was he at the wedding? If
He
so, I
was
didn't
at the
speak to
wedding.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was afraid of him, literally.
Dude, I always want like a little bit, you know, like he offered me whatever he was drinking, right? And I don't know what it was, something from a dark bottle. I'm sure it's strong as fuck. And you know, it's not like a glass of it. He's like, "Do you want to swig from this bottle that I'm drinking from?" And it's like, no. That's okay, right? Like,
Yes.
you're not gonna Conor McGregor me in the head.
If I say no,
actually,
are you going to
no,
feed
shut
me
up.
like a baby?
Right?
No, a swig. No, two swigs. Yeah. Yeah, my favorite. He's
And
just afraid of getting beat up.
I enjoy his company. Like I like Danny, and he's nice to hang out with. I hung out with him at the wedding for a while, but there was a piece of me that was like, "But don't fuck up. Don't fuck this up, because he'll hurt me."
Yeah, he's a rough man.
I don't like to hang out with people like that.
Joe, like I just remember being in the park in Boston, just me, Woody, and Joe telling stories about that guy, and it's like he kind of still got a street fight, and like
He won.
with professional fight,
Hooray!
he didn't just win. I want to say that he like
Killed that
severely
motherfucker.
concussed. There were multiple men, and I'm pretty sure one had a broken arm and one had a concussion.
Yeah, I don't know if they would agree with this, but like let's say, for example, that I was in a street fight and all my opponents were young ladies. There's a level of restraint that maybe I should have, right? When I'm fighting Danny, I'm a young lady. Have a little kindness on me. You only have
Don't
to
fuck
win
my
by
boy
it.
pussy too
You
hard.
only have to win by
Daniel,
enough.
he faces off against Woody, and all I can hear in his head, and they say that a hero can save us. He's kill.
Yeah.
He's a challenge of your masculinity.
I'm
I
glad-
treat every fight like it's Brock Lesnar. It's like,
Yeah.
I only have one speed.
I'm just thankful he's not gay. Because if he was, there's nothing I could do about it.
Couldn't stop the rape.
No.
He couldn't stop the
absolutely
rape.
molested you, and you would have had to thank him for the privilege. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I get
Yes.
two. But I'd have.
If nothing else, I'm more manly after this rape, sir.
But don't think we won't judge him on his cum.
Breed me with your alpha cum, sir.
That's a good clip. I want that as a soundboard.
should we get a soundboard from the show?
Breed me with your alpha cum, sir.
That's funny. That's a good one.
I want that as every time you get a text message. I want that.
Oh, sorry, work email.